Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. In boxing, you find a way to win, you find a way to lose. Taylor and Canelo Alvarez on the decline. That's what I think. And I'll tell you what, Canelo Alvarez, according to a lot of people, not just Oscar De La Hoya, a lot of people feel he's showing those signs, man. And when you look at how long he's been fighting, how long he's been sparring, how many training camps he's had, and up and down through different weight divisions, the fact that he started off at 140 pounds, I mean, the sweet spot for Canelo is probably 154 pounds. The fact that this man up is at 168 and trying to fight at 175 and somewhere he doesn't belong. It's at a point now to where it's showing, all right? Even when he defended his super middleweight titles against John Ryder. Look, he won a unanimous decision. Right, there's a lot Ryder just didn't do in that fight. But I'll say this. Canelo Alvarez did drop him. Broke his nose early in the fight. You know, Canelo hits hard. Those single shots he lands, he can tranquilize his opponent. He can break bones. He's done it. But a lot of us expected Alvarez to finish off Ryder, and he wasn't able to do it. Alvarez a couple of years ago would have dusted this guy off. But I'm gonna tell you what, that's not just what is concerning about Canelo Alvarez. And that's not the only thing that makes us say he's kind of on the decline. It's the fact that Canelo Alvarez was surprisingly getting some power punches landed in his face the latter half of the fight. And I was watching it, and Canelo couldn't even get out the way. And I don't even know if it was him feeling like Ryder just couldn't hurt him, but I saw him getting hit with shots that he would have never got hit with. Pay attention, people. This is serious business here. We're getting ready to go through a transition with all of our pound-for-pound greats, all of our elite fighters across multiple weight divisions. They've been doing this for a while. It's time for this younger generation to come and start to step into their shoes. But when it comes to Alvarez, look, of course what Ryder did wasn't enough to win the fight, but it was still surprising. Just watching Alvarez not be what I would say is as dominant as what we have grown accustomed to seeing. Because Ryder wasn't Triple G caliber. And I'm talking the first Triple G Canelo fight, the second Triple G Canelo fight. That third Canelo Triple G fight, they both were basically, you could tell, on the decline. Neither one of them looked like they wanted to really be in the ring. They both need to be in some damn wheelchairs with Vicks rubbed all over their goddamn chests and backs. But nonetheless, you know, people who paid attention, and I think it started last year when they watched Canelo fight Bivol. He just wasn't able to pull the trigger, and Bivol had a lot to do with that. We got to be fair. But I'm gonna tell you what, when you lose a fight like what Canelo lost to Bivol, that takes a lot out of you. I mean, that fight was all one-sided. You see Canelo on the ropes getting beat like that. That's not recommended. And for me, it's kind of reconfirmed my thought process on the less damage a fighter takes, the longer he lasts. The more damage a fighter takes, the shorter their career is. And Mayweather talked about that too. But we're going to see. Some people say, nah, Canelo's young. He's 33. Man, get out of here. The man's been fighting pro since he's been 15. Get out of here with that. He's young, but, I mean, we really should be calculating his age in dog years because that's how much wear and tear he has on his damn body. But anyway, I just felt like he should have taken out Ryder. You drop him, hurt him, broke his nose, and you can't come and finish him off, man. I mean, I think the Canelo from a couple of years ago would have thrown a barrage of punches and stopped him. Especially in that damn ring, man. You know, that ring Canelo had Ryder in is probably worse. Now, that ring Tim Tszyu had Tony Harrison in, that was worse. Like, that was an extreme case of a fighting in a telephone booth. Like, that was ridiculous. Bottom line, though, it was to Canelo's advantage, and he still couldn't use his legs. His legs looked slow. I mean, even his lateral movement, he's just slowing down, man. All right? And he got guys out here. Of course, there was that unceremonious breakup with Canelo and De La Hoya, and De La Hoya will go on and say anything that he can to let everyone know he built Canelo and blah, blah, blah. He's just still disgruntled over the divorce. So, nonetheless, with Canelo Alvarez, the possibility of this guy looking to fight Bivol again later this year, I'm telling y'all people, Bivol is an extremely high-level opponent. Like, that's not good. I don't know. Like, to me, don't let Canelo take that fight. Because I think Canelo gets hurt. He's on the decline. And I think you may see Canelo get stopped. And I'm being honest with you. Especially if Bivol has a chip on his shoulder. Because they pissed Bivol off. They're blocking him from the damn undisputed distinction at 175. Which I think he has a good chance of beating Beterbiev. But he may say, okay, this is what you guys want to do? You want to try to strong arm me into a fight with Canelo, not give me any options? I don't want to fight anyone else but Beterbiev. But because you're saying because I'm Russian and the WBC doesn't want me to have a title, a WBC title, all right, cool. Fight Canelo, then more than likely I fight Beterbiev, bring him on. And watch me tranquilize him. And I'm being honest with you. I don't think Canelo should take that Bivol fight. I think Bivol will tranquilize him. But at the same time, if Bivol still continue being the nice guy, and the fight is somewhat competitive, like Lomachenko and Haney, right? They may, in this particular instance, give Canelo the nod. And then now you have Canelo Beterbiev for the 175-pound undisputed distinction. And I personally think that's the end goal of the secret society, sanctioning bodies, is to get Canelo to become undisputed at 175, to become the greatest Mexican boxer that ever lived. But we all know he can't compare to Julio Cesar Chavez. Get out of here. So that's my take on him. But when it comes to Katie Taylor, man, look, her long reign as boxing queen, look, man, it's over. Same situation as Canelo, man. Look, that may have been for her the heroic last stand. It's over. And Katie Taylor is still an amazing talent, but trying to fight these bigger, stronger fighters, sometimes that happens. And you look at Katie Taylor, like we talked about Canelo, man, the wear and tear, the tough camps. She's sparring men to get ready for fights. You look at her when she fought Amanda Serrano. Katie Taylor was able to kick it into another gear the second half of the fight. She wasn't able to do it in this fight. She just was getting beat every single round. I mean, getting beat badly. So it is what it is, man. To go 10 rounds like that, man. And when she lost, look, she dropped her head because she knew she lost. She knew she lost, man. At home, in front of 10,000 people at the A3 Arena. It's unfortunate. But look, when it comes to these nights and these big fights, sometimes, man, you get in there with the wronger opponent who has that desire to win. They're already bigger. But then if you're dealing with someone who's going to be busier and then you realize, wow, they're a shitload stronger than me. Look, they're going to leave the ring with the win. And in Katie Taylor's case, man, they're going to leave the ring with the titles they brought in or take your titles. And they're going to leave you with a bunch of bruises and contusions and possibly a concussion. And I'm going to tell you right now, watching that fight, I was surprised to see that Cameron was the underdog. But to see what happened in that fight, there's no way in the world some people should have had Chantel Cameron as an underdog, because Katie Taylor lost every single round. But, it's one of those things, man. It's just like Canelo trying to fight Bivol. I guess you got to have a dream. Got to be able to challenge yourself and push yourself and to be motivated. And going up in weight is just one of those things, man. And I just think some things are meant to be, some things aren't. But falling short, there's nothing to feel bad about. But I'm going to tell you this, man. You see the raw emotion on some of these fighters' faces. You saw the raw emotion on Canelo's face when he lost to Mayweather. He dropped his head the same way Katie Taylor dropped her head when she lost to Cameron. But I'm going to tell you this right now. Once you still have the support of the fans and the crowd screaming your name, it can make somebody continue fighting. And with Katie Taylor's case, I think she should be very careful about moving forward because I just don't. I'm not questioning her devotion. What I'm saying is she's just been through a lot. And I think a lot of the sparring with guys, remember, it's different, man. These women are sparring with a lot of men. And the wear and tear and the training camps, just like Canelo, man. The training camps, man, and how long she's been fighting as well. It takes its toll, man. But anyway, we're going to see what she does next. But I tell you what, step in between those ropes, that unbelievable noise, the unbelievable scene, the unbelievable respect that people have for these fighters, you know, it can motivate someone to go against what they know they should do and go and try to chase that high again. And next thing you know, they come back in there and they're trying to work on creating distance, especially if they find themselves in a similar situation where they seem to be on the losing end of the stick. Trying to create distance, looking to try to do the step back, trying to let their hands go, you know, and show the people all those trademark combinations that they once had. You know, easing forward, you know, trying to go to the body and just trying to execute a game plan. But sometimes you just start to slow it. It's hard to come in there and execute the game plan and dominate, and you find yourself after 5 or 6 rounds behind on scorecards. And now you're trailing, and then what do? You can't out-hustle an opponent who's just better than you for that moment in time. You can't out-hustle your way to a decision. And if you really can't hurt him, you can't out-hustle him into a KO. So now you're just there. And the corner, the fans, the commentators, people at home watching on TV, everybody's in shock because they can't believe what's going on. And they're wondering what happened because they get used to watching previous fights of these fighters, and you're just thinking that they're going to find a way to pull it out and do something spectacular, but it's just not going to happen. With Katie Taylor's case, with her and Cameron Duncan, like that was her 17th consecutive world title fight. I don't think that'll take something out of a fighter. Doesn't matter if it's male or female. We're talking fighters here. But, you know, you get those fighters in there who can adjust, who don't panic. And when the final bell rings, they're motivated as hell, and they're going to come out there and they're going to stick it to you. All right? So it is what it is. But that being said, a guy like Canelo Alvarez, who's used to being in championship level fights, fighting at the highest level, a fighter like Katie Taylor, who's used to be in championship fights, fighting at the highest level, when they go back and they lay down on their bed and they're by themselves and they're thinking about whether they should continue or not, you know what they're going to end up saying to themselves? Let's do it again. I don't like losing. I refuse to lose. And it's nothing she did great or he did great. It's what I did wrong. Who's going to protect them from themselves? Because when they're on the decline, the way I feel Katie Taylor and Canelo Alvarez are, they're going to keep going into those high-profile championship-level fights. And then we just may see what I feel is the inevitable of someone getting stopped. And it's going to be vicious. That being said, y'all keep cool. Shout out to the veterans. Subscribe to the channel. You know what I'm in. The breeze.